More faffing about with brakes today. Drum brakes this time, off of I think a 1930 something Studebaker, and this is the front drum. I've been fiddling about with this trying to get it running true, and I've just come to the conclusion that it's slightly oval, and I'm getting, if we see this reading on the clock, I always have trouble seeing the clock on this through this camera. That point and 180 degrees round is the same, and then that point and 180 degrees round, well, now it isn't the same, you bugger. I haven't just leant on the cross slide and messed up the readings. That's something very easily done. So we'll go at this again. Yeah, it's within a thou, and yeah, it's not round. I think it's let's try this again. That is the same. Opposites there to there. Yeah, that's the same as well, and it's varying as it's going around, so I think that's okay. I'm now going to check it on the back face, well, just in that corner there, to make sure it's not wobbling sideways. Well, this is a little bit odd because it's pretty much consistent all the way around, and there's a dip and it comes back up again, so I'm going to say that's okay. I think we'll be okay to go with this. I don't know why we're doing this, to be honest, because this is a pretty nice finish in here. There's a tiny little bit of a raised ridge around the edge, and there is in the corner a tiny little step, but otherwise it's pretty damn good. But I've already done the other one, so I suppose I need to do this one to match now. Let's have a quick look at the other one that I did earlier. Right, I've got a coffee jar lid taped over the middle because they're the front wheel bearings in there, this being a front brake drum. So they're a bit greasy, and I don't want grit getting in there, so that's that covered over. Let's see what we can do when we actually try and skim this. Oh my God! Oh. That's horrible. Well, I guess we've maybe taken the glazed surface off. We've got some chatter going on here. In that corner, oh, I don't know what's going on with that. I'm going to try a different tool. Well, I don't know that we've made that any better than it was before, really. I don't think the turning marks, oh, they're not too bad. This is a bit smoother than the first one I did. But yeah, I'm going to go over this with kind of cross-hatching by hand kind of affair. Let's see if we can just smooth it out a bit better. Well, that's going to do us. I wonder what the wear limit on these is. I don't suppose I've taken 10th off the diameter on this, but kind of wonder how much you could take out of these before they're not blooming strong enough anymore. Just going to do the rear drums now, and these maybe do look like they could do with a bit of attention. And although this is a bit greasy in the middle, this is just the half shaft just goes through there, or the axle shaft just goes through there. And they're not the easiest things to hold. This, you can see the actual wheel studs on the back, which is what stopped us holding on the outside of the drum. Yeah, they just got in the way. If we reversed the jaws at 4-jaw chuck, it just did not work. So we're having to hold it on this flange, which is probably not a bad idea. But we've got the problem of getting the thing running true. Which, yeah, I've just plonked that in there very roughly. And yeah, we'll have to knock that into alignment a bit more before we even think about putting a clock on it. You can see these things are made from steel pressing, this main centerpiece. You've got a, I don't know whether that's a cast steel hub or maybe a forged piece in the middle. And that's got the flange on the other side that the wheel studs are pushed in, but the studs also go through this steel piece, so they kind of act like rivets to hold the centre of the drum to the hub, and then the actual brake drum itself is cast onto the steel. And 5 studs make life awkward. If it had been 4, it would have fitted so much nicer into the 4-jaw chuck. Because the way it is with the 5 studs, you've got this jaw, it's just got nothing underneath here, so it's just holding the flange here. This one and the next one, you've got 2 of them. These are butted up to the steel centre pressing, so this can't go back any further onto these jaws than where it is now. And then you've got a gap underneath that one, and a gap underneath, loads of room underneath that one. So it just kind of makes it awkward to get the thing lined up. You've got nothing you can just push it up against. I suppose the ideal way of doing this would be that you'd have a packing piece turned up here to go between the chuck and the flange. So I'm gonna, as soon as this goes on the axle here, I'm gonna clock onto this, see if we can get that central. Once that's clocked up, we'll compare it to this, and hopefully they'll be concentric. And then I'll also clean this register up here and put a clock against the face of that, just to make sure it's not wobbling. It's pretty reasonable at the minute, but you get that to there, spin that. That's close, but yeah, we'll get a clock on the centre, clock on the drum, clock on this. I'm calling it a clock. I should be calling it indicator, really, should know, but yeah. Right, this is the last of these brake drums that we've got to clean up. And I guess this one, this is the other rear drum. This is a bit scored up and it's a bit rusted and a bit pitted, so it's probably not a bad idea to try and get this a bit better before it goes back on the car. And we've got another job here to do, because this was cracked here. I'm going to clean this up a bit so that it's not quite so rough when I put the indicator on it, and this edge here as well. And I will also indicate on the inside of this bore. That's still okay, it's got a keyway there, but I can go most of the way around and check that as well. So let's see if we can get this thing running true. And this is certainly not running true at the moment. You can feel that wagging around in there. Well, that certainly showed up the pitting, if nothing else. Oh heck, these things are such a pain in the arse for chatter. I've got a nice chunky tool here and it's still a mess. Oh you bastard. I'll just check that bore as well, see if it's concentric. I'm not convinced. There's obviously some run out going on here. How much can drum brakes cope with? It's quite a nasty score, but it's nearly gone there. Still quite a lot left on that side. Oh dear. Well, I've just tried to indicate the bore and this surface down. Well, not that surface, no, that piece in there, to see if there was some wobble going on, as well as I think I had. It wasn't running out radially, but there might have been a bit of wobble going on, so I'm hoping. I've still got a bit to take off of here, but this might be a bit better. I'm slowing this speed down again to see if that makes a difference, going really, well, not really slow, it could go slower, but 80 RPM, it's not very fast. And let's have another go. Just checking to make sure that's actually taking it off where I wanted it to come off, and it looks like it is. So chatter's still horrible. Quite often once it's there you cannot get it out again. Just the tool running over it sets up the vibration. Oh damn. And I think it's the disc ring, the drum ringing. I don't think it's the tool. Oh, you pain! You absolute... Oh! Rethink. This is not working. while we're going ridiculously slow to get rid of the chatter. 33 RPM, this is going to take forever. Well, no, it's not. It's just really slow. No hum. Still need to take a bit more out, so it's another go. Just coming back out again, still at painfully slow RPM, slow feed rate, just trying to get a nicer finish. I think it's cutting okay. The vibration doesn't really set in until you get more towards the edge, the opening of the bell, as it were. So we'll see how we get on with that. So far so good. Oh, there's still chatter in that surface, and yet it does get worse as it comes towards the edge. Well, we've still got chatter in this, and we've still also got some rusty spots. I don't really want to take any more off of this. So I think I will just leave it at that for turning and try and get the chatter and a bit more of the rust out with some wet or dry. And in the meantime, let's have a go at this. Well, here's something new for me. The only way we can get at this piece is to use a boring bar, and I'm obviously going on the outside diameter, so I've got to go on the back of the piece and run the lathe backwards. Okay. Well, they're strange. Not got that quite concentric look, but it's touching at the back and not the front, which is odd. Is that really tapered? What a pain. No, and I might have to just tweak the compound over a bit of an angle and use that to feed it. How odd. Close. That's pretty smooth actually. Might be a case of a bit of work with some wet or dry, maybe, just blend that in the last little bit. I think that will work. It at least won't be ripping the seal to shreds like it was before. There's a little bit of weld left there, a little bit of bump. I think I might file that off. I think that's it.